NFC offers the opportunity to say there are other drivers of the business case, such as the ability to do mobile marketing and advertising and couponing that are relevant to both the consumer and the merchant as they interact in a much more fluid way with digital technology. So in that sense, NFC payments in 2011 really offer a breakthrough opportunity to not only change the nature of what the transaction environment looks like, by the way, not just offline in the point of sale, but also online. It offers the opportunity to bring people together that haven't worked out together in a collaborative way to enhance this buyer-seller interaction. So I think all the elements of the infrastructure, such as the handsets, the chips in the handsets, to a large degree are being subsidized or already being put into play and not waiting for the classic old payment fee allocation or split to determine whether people are going to do this stuff or not. It's going to be on new value propositions going forward. That's very exciting. Everybody now really has a stake to think about how they can add to the quote-unquote mobile ecosystem and begin to think about how that new infrastructure really does represent the vanguard for reform of the old magstripe physical card payment system that's been around and served well for 4 or 5 decades, but has clearly outlived its usefulness. It's too costly, it's too fraud prone, it creates ungodly expenses like PCI compliance. We've spent enough in the United States on PCI compliance since 2004 to implement EMV chip plus PIN 3 times over. Bringing all these other stakeholders to the party gives you an opportunity to say, let's reinvent the payment system around this interactive, two-way, digitally smart kind of mechanism and get away from everything that's held us back in the magstripe world. So the buzzword around the conference has been a release of a wire from Visa last week where they said, contrary to some controversy that had formed up over the past few months, that if you were to move to EMV chip plus PIN as part of the transition to NFC contactless technology, would merchants be off the hook from these PCI compliance costs that have grown so onerous? They clarified that position last week in this public release, where they said in every one of their 5 regions except the United States, in North America, if a merchant did more than 75% of their transactions at the point of sale with EMV chip plus PIN cards, then they wouldn't have to do an annual PCI audit. Well, that's throwing a bone, but it's a useful bone for all those merchants in every place outside the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Unfortunately, they didn't do that in North America, and they didn't do it certainly in the United States. Instead, in their public release, they said on the economic uncertainties related to the Durbin Amendment and its reduction of debit card rates as proposed by the Fed made it an untenable environment for looking at bringing new technology, such as EMV chip plus PIN, to the forefront. That means that everybody who's in the mobile ecosystem really needs to get back and support the Fed in trying to use it to help reform the payment system, most notably moving to EMV chip plus PIN as soon as we can, hopefully with the Fed's help.